FM Woonsocket. From the Rhode Island Credit Union Studios, 106.3 The Wolf, a Cumulus media station.
Well, that was fucking annoying. I had to fix yet another audio problem on this fucking board. But that's okay, because I'm sure Brian is here with perfect audio that will not be problematic at all.
No, it seems to be fine.
Excellent. I could hear you. You could hear me. And we could
All
both
right.
hear hair metal coming out of FM radio, right?
FM radio? Oh,
What's that?
yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
That's what that is.
That's what that is. And we need to take off the starting soon slide is what we need to do. And then we need to really remove it so that it doesn't fuck with future screen sharing. Because I am here. Brian is here. It's time for that show that I don't have a sound effect up for. And I have a new thing to hold my microphone. Because this old thing's falling apart and needs to go into fucking trash. And Not Magpie is here, which is awesome. We haven't
Not
had...
Magpie. Hot
No.
rod.
And 5-hit tune. We haven't had an audience of 2 in months.
Yay.
Yeah, and I am also streaming to my Quadcast channel this week because we're going to be talking a bit about a project that is very quad related and very futuristic as well.
Cool.
The quad and future.
A blast from the past and the future.
Yes. Because, Brian, I have seen the light. I have figured out what the future of AI is. And I would find it hard to believe I'm the first one to figure this out, but I haven't heard anyone taking this take. So would you like to hear what the real future of AI is going to be?
Absolutely.
Okay. So this weekend, I started work on CarPi 2.0. And CarPi 2.0 is going to be a fully self-contained head radio unit that fits in my Ford Taurus X perfectly and is going to be the only radio in there which will not only handle the Plex streaming but will also handle the Bluetooth syncing with my phone for podcasts and stuff like that, and will also have built-in FM AM radio complete with presets and seek buttons and tuning and all that.
Wow.
And that is what we are listening to the starts of right here. It already does FM radio. So, a little sidebar. Not Magpie right again. Hey, you remember Tioli? Oh, I remember Tioli. Next week, Eaton will be visiting Colorado. Now, Not Magpie says hopefully the output's better than the soundboard. Yeah, it turns out my spare stereo pair works fine on the stereo output, but doesn't work well on the sub outputs. That is what happened. And so it sounded fine to me. Anyways, so the reason why you, me, Brian can hear FM radio coming out of this Pi is because this past weekend, hours and hours of programming. Well, not out. Yeah, minutes, hours of programming was completed to build an application that would use this USB tuner that's connected to a little cheap antenna that'll eventually connect to the car antenna, and we'll see how well that goes. So you have that to look forward to in the upcoming months. And, you know, I it didn't come with, you know, just here's a software to use. I had to build something that was going to be able to take GPIO inputs eventually to tie into physical buttons on a shell of a radio I'm going to put it in. And so I basically told Claude Code, make me an FM tuner, and it made me a version, and I tested it out. It had problems. I said, fix this. It fixed that. I uploaded that. And I realized, holy shit, this is going to take me for fucking ever if I have to keep uploading every new change. So I finally said, hey, Claude Code, how do I give you access directly to the Pi so you can just upload and test things yourself? And it gave me some instructions, and I pasted the code somewhere. It had access to the Pi. I'm sitting here watching text scroll across the screen. I'm hearing stations change, stations come in, the tuner turn off, turn on, while this artificial intelligence on my computer is writing me a program that will tune in FM radio and work with my buttons on GPIO pins eventually. So the current state of AI is, wow, that's cool. Would that be your take on that right now, Brian?
Sure. Why not?
Here's the future of AI. Oh my God, why is it taking so long to build this?
Right.
That's the future of AI.
Right.
And Brian, does that feel familiar to you? Do you think you've lived through that in your time using computers? The cool new toys or the cool new tools that make life easier, to the things that we can't live without, that if they would just work right.
Especially the first time. And Microsoft was great at that. You know, the 1.0 version sucked. You had to get the 1.1. 2. Anything sucked. You had to go with the 3.1 or 3.2. I think the best MS-DOS is probably 3.3, maybe. I mean, there's more than that added all kinds of crap, but the basics, 3.3, I think, was the pinnacle.
3.3 is certainly the pinnacle of the PC era.
Sure, for sure.
But and 4 is certainly, you know, in all the talk of DOS and all the running of DOS on vintage computers, no one really ever chooses to run DOS 4. No one ever really talks about DOS 4. And it's kind of like, why don't I hear about DOS 4? And when you look into it, it's like, yeah, it sucked. It had problems.
Well, it was an even number, right?
Yeah.
You know, the even numbers sucked.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have any problems with DOS 2.11 on our old family PC, but certainly 3.3 was kind of the...
2.11?
Yeah. That's what our computer PC-88 runs on.
Yeah.
Of course, going back to DOS 2, you're still in the era of DOSes manufactured specifically for OEM machines. I don't think it was till 3 that like you actually could just go buy a DOS to put on a computer. The 1 and 2 eras, they came with the machine, and they might have had some custom things for that machine.
And Wikipedia said MS-DOS 4.0 was multitasking.
Oh.
I think multitasking was a joke, wasn't it?
Dune writing in DOS 4, the ME of DOS. Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Now, when it comes to 5 and 6.22, I don't think there's anything wrong with them that makes them worse than 3.3. But you really, you don't need that till you get to later hardware and you want to do things like maybe run Windows 3.1. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot. I mean, heck, my computer LAN will run DOS 6.22 without issue.
Right.
There's no reason it needs to, but I don't think it detracts from it any.
Well, let's see, DOS 4 came out in, according to Wikipedia, I just saw it. Now I can't see it.
Oh. You found it, you lost it, and
Oh, came out in '88. Okay.
okay, all right, makes sense. Makes sense.
No. Originally October of '87. So I moved to California in around '88, and then left in '90. We went to Houston for a while. We were exiled to Houston. And
That is exactly.
anyway, so in
how you
that
get
period, I'm pretty sure we were using DOS 3, like 3.3.
that makes sense.
We were running DBase 3 plus applications.
Generally, you didn't buy a DOS upgrade. You bought a new computer that came with another DOS.
We bought the company I was with. We're buying these company this from this little outfit back when there were little outfits still, called Chico Tech,
Okay.
because the guys that made it were at Chico State in Chico, California, but the nickname that we gave it was Cheapo Tech,
Well, that sounds about right.
and it was just a PC clone, right?
Yeah.
Old school. I guess they were 386s,
I'll run Windows 3.1.
I think. Whatever. And at first, when we first got a twisted pair network, which was unbelievably slow. But if you had an application that really needed it, they would drop a cable, which was better.
I see.
Um,
But anyways,
and
back to
the funny thing is, so we were writing code, for the DBase environment, and we used Clipper to compile it. And when the IT director found out we were using something other than DBase, he flipped out, because he was selling we were a DBase 3 plus shop. Did not understand, hey, it's just a compiler, makes it much faster. There are lots of features. We were doing features you could never do in DBase 3 plus,
Right.
straight code. There were like scrolling windows, so you could select a date based on the scrolling windows, little gadgets. It was kind of cool.
that does sound cool.
There was also a third-party software where you could grab an image and have defined fields where you grab data from it, because the outfit I was working for used this third-party outfit to do their deep accounting. So we would have the computer log into that, pull up the screen, and grab the data. Of course, there was no communication between us and the vendor. So when they changed the screen, we were screwed.
Ah.
We got to go in and fix that quick.
I mean, it was probably really cool when you set it up, and then this little thing broke it.
Yeah, this little change that they made,
Yeah.
broke it.
Which, why would they have any foresight that would change anything? It just makes it look better. But this here,
and we were never told why there were changes. They were just changing. It didn't work, so we had to fix our code to find out why it wouldn't work. And I never got into that program. So
and that was your
that guy
insight to the
left.
future.
Like, okay, who knows how to do this?
So this here we have up on the screen is a $15 eBay purchase, and what this is a AM/FM radio only, no cassette, no CD, no phone pairing or anything, that fits by Ford Taurus X.
Okay.
And so when this arrives, which it's on a truck, it was supposed to be here today. I guess the truck must have took a wrong turn.
UPS or FedEx or
I forget which one this one is. It's one of those. FedEx dropped off the DAC for the new Car Pi today. So and they didn't even drop off a tariff bill this time. But we'll see what comes in the mail. Because we have it's actually going to be a FedEx. And now they've updated to say that it's going to show up tomorrow. Apparently, it left Warrendale, Pennsylvania today. So we have that to look forward to.
It's funny. 90% of the stuff we get from Amazon, it comes in perfectly, no problem. And I think it's related to well, of course, a lot of things are actually from third party, and you really don't know who that seller is.
Right.
And so sometimes it will go, I'm pretty sure it's third party, and the tracking will be way off. They'll say, let's see, it's coming tomorrow. And then the next day it's going to go, well, we're not sure it's going to come next week. And then it'll hit the next day. So
it'll come on
it's missed,
Yeah. So this here is kind of perfect, because who wants an AM/FM radio only in an old car or in any car? And so they were asking 20, and I'm like, well, I'll give you 10, and they came back with 15, and it's like, fine.
Okay.
Which
you want to ditter around. Okay.
$15 for a shell with buttons on it that will mount flush in my car. That should be relatively easy to link the buttons up to GPIO pins to basically have a Raspberry Pi in my car that's controllable.
So I take you're going to strip out the electronics anyway. So
yeah, I'm going to open that up and gut that thing like a fish.
Yeah,
although it'll be a little less messy than gutting a fish.
Right. It might stink as bad. Old electronics, right?
It could. And I'm hoping that I don't have a bunch of like ribbon cables that are impossible to deal with. I'm hoping I have some leads that make it easy to convert these buttons to things that can connect to GPIO pins. And that way, the volume pushes, it's a rotary encoder. If anything, I could probably rip that out and put in a standard rotary encoder that'll fit in the hole and work that knob onto it. And of course, the audio button will switch between radio, Bluetooth, and PlexAmp. PlexAmp, being a headless app, will have to be controlled by my phone, and my phone will have to provide Wi-Fi access. So there's no way to get completely away from a phone needing to be mounted. That's why I didn't go with a touchscreen solution, because no matter what, I still have to bring my phone up and use that as a Wi-Fi hotspot for Plex connectivity.
Do you ever use CarPlay?
No, I've not had a car new enough to have CarPlay.
Yeah.
But I've been in cars that have CarPlay. But
now, apparently, my car can do CarPlay. I've never done it.
I think essentially that's what.
And theoretically, it'll go to that screen, but I don't know if it works, and why spend the money on it? Now, my wife's car should be able to use it, but we're lazy. We're just using it as is.
It's one of those things you got to spend time in your car while it's parked learning how to use a computer.
Exactly.
Which is not usually.
And hey, we're usually just listening to XM radio anyway, so what's the difference?
And the thing is, I don't want a touchscreen to be my primary control in the car. I want buttons. Buttons are easy to navigate when you're driving, and you could kind of feel around and keep your eyes on the road. So
exactly. Right. Unless, of course, they have all these buttons where they all feel the same, and there's no touch navigation thing, And pretend like I'm blind. Okay, maybe I am blind, but I'm still driving.
Right. We went to Damon's driving school for the blind. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And,
So and the other cool thing I found was I found this little diagram, which I believe applies to my car as well, which is the resistance mappings to the buttons on my steering wheel that provide volume up, volume down.
Interesting.
Forward, back, the media selector, and a mute button. And so and these go to a pin that is called pin 18. And so I should be able to tie pin 18 to a GPIO pin and have it detect these resistance and basically add my steering wheel buttons into the controls for my CarPi, so I could be boosting and ducking.
Now, should that be going through an A to D converter?
Well, that's what the AI will tell me what to do. I don't know if the GPIO by itself can read that or if I need to add more hardware. I think because I bought some kind of an extra breakout because I don't have enough GPIO. I've gone beyond the amount of GPIO pins available on the Pi itself, so I've had to buy another hat that's going to go on there that's going to break out more pins. And I think that might have capabilities for this. It hasn't. I didn't spend a whole lot of time planning out the details of this yet. This is a future phase. I got to get the basics going.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's cool.
But I should be able to build this into it to not only have, because of course Seek will change the stations on the radio mode, but it'll be my skip forward and back on Bluetooth mode. It'll be my skip forward and back on PlexAmp mode when it's playing.
Right.
And there are API commands that you can tie those in to do that. So that'll be really cool. So that is the other tricky thing is going to be that I don't think I could tie the LCD screen of the radio itself into the Pi. I have a Pi LCD screen that's designed to work with a Pi, so I have to somehow figure out how I can remove the existing LCD from this, mount the Pi one without it looking like something that's kind of jankily duct taped into place. So once this arrives and I get this on the workbench, we'll have to.
Now, if there is a display in there that you can program, then you can throw out secret messages.
That would be cool. Well, I mean, I could make the display do whatever I want it to do once I connect a working display.
Right.
Which one of the things that the FM tuner was built to do with the AI running its thing is it did add in the capability for it to read the text that comes in over the airwaves, display the text, because some stations will display song names or things like that, and some tuners can receive that. So I have that capability. I have my doubts about how well this is going to work in the car.
One thing that annoys me that both XM radios in our both cars,
right?
When it shows a sign that has a long name, rather than scrolling the name so you can actually read the whole name, it chops it off.
Oh, that's
so Inagata
what?
Or just just a long text name, where dude, the guy that wrote the song doesn't know how to make a title that's short.
I guess not.
Anyway.
But anyways, if I come back and I share my what am I going to share? I'm going to share my SSH session into my Pi. And,
Doom on the display.
Let's do Doom on the display. Oh, there we go. There we go. We'll make it. That is the ultimate question. But can your car Pi play Doom?
Exactly.
So that'll have to be maybe car Pi 3.0.
Right,
but in here, I have a SSH session into here. So right now, I could type in Python 3 tuner control.py seek up, which eventually a GPIO pin will be programmed to run this. So with a button press, it'll seek the next station it thinks has a signal on it, which is 89.7 FM.
Siempre hay que mirar la parte positiva. Si nos quema una gran parte del...
I don't understand
that.
Though Vidal says, sure, the fire burned away a huge part of our.
I think that's NPR is what that is. So we'll set that to one of the presets.
Yeah.
And then we'll seek again, and we'll see. I'm not happy with some of the seek commands take up to 10 seconds, which is 92.3 coming in nice and strong with the music. And we'll seek up again, see what's on the FM dial here. 94.1. I still have to program the LCD and the LCD displays. That'll probably be the next thing I do now that I have my hat on there, that I can start connecting things to pins. Although I do have my other pin connector I need to add. This is 95.5. The Seek's doing really good today.
Oh, good.
In fact, I just had it fix it because when I connected the DAC, I think the DAC added some interference that it was seeing a signal, and so it was stopping on everything. And so I had to say, hey, Claude Code, what the fuck? It's stopping on every damn station. And so it cranked away. It connected to the Pi. It started running through a few stations. It read some values. It basically said, hey, try it now. And so we're trying it now, and oh my God, it's working the best it's ever has. Of course, now it's taking its sweet-ass time because it does have to run a few checks to be good. 105.1. All right, that's weird that we have nothing between 95.5 and 105.1. So I might have to bitch it out saying, why did you skip things? So here's where I debug a little bit. I'm now going to use the command tune -down instead of seek up or seek down. And this will let me go through every station, and I'm going to work my way back down to 95.5 and see if it skipped anything legit when it seeked from 95.5 to 105.1. Oops, I hit up again. Here we go, tune down. All right, 104.9, 104.7. That is distortion of like some kind of. I actually don't want that to tune in. I'm not going to complain about that. 104.3, 104.1, 103.9, 103.7, 103.5, so on and so on.
And I like Not a Magpie saying about the blind guy that got a race car.
Yeah.
Got to be a race driver for a day. Actually, the old Top Gear with Clarkson and the Knuckleheads, they had for their celebrity day on the track, they did have a blind guy, but they had a guy in the side seat that would, go left a little more, go right, And the guy, for being blind, the guy did not bad. I mean, he was the bottom of the list, but there were people that were going to go, wait a minute, I was worse than the blind man? Oh, fuck.
So, anyways, it turns out that our seek command was correct. At this time, there is nothing coming in between 95.5 and 105.1. So that's a bummer because I thought there were a few stations between there that were coming in yesterday, but I have moved the antenna around a bit, and it is a stupid dive. It's a pole. But the stations that come in clear. So
it's not bad.
Anyone want to start taking bets how well this is going to work once we connect it to a car antenna and start driving around?
I don't know. It'd be fun.
Hey, it was, I guess I should talk a little bit more about the hardware of it. Let me pull up my Amazon account and make sure I don't bring up a page that shows my address, even though Sparky Toaster, or that's how I got on Sparky Toaster's Christmas card list.
Right.
Bringing up my order information on screen and going to a page that, for my convenience, showed me my address. All right. So what I bought did I actually pay $50 for that? Let me see if the price went up in the past. Let me see what I paid on the actual order. Okay. View order details. So yeah, the radio tuner I actually paid $52 for, which might be a little pricey for a car radio that's probably going to perform not that great in the car. It wasn't necessarily designed for the car. But again, this project's so cool. I thought it was fun enough to warrant a $50 radio tuner purchase. And I'll go ahead and share the screen for what it is. I was hoping for $50 it would perform good enough, and we'll find out. All right, here. And so here it is, NESDR Smart T V2 bundle. So it comes with this USB dongle thing with a coaxial screw connection. And it also came with this a coaxial cable with an antenna base on it with 3 different screw-on types of antennae. And
long, medium, and short, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. The one that extends and a short one and a that doesn't extend and a not a short one that doesn't extend is basically the 3 antennae. Is it antennae or antennae?
Antenna. I don't know.
Antenna is singular.
Singular, yeah.
But the plural is, that's one of those words you learn.
Yeah, but you only
about.
use one at a time, though, so it's antenna, right?
Yeah, but it came, whether I'm not talking about using them, I'm talking about
Yeah.
having them. I have multiple antennae. That's one of those words you learn about in English that's the exception to all the other rules. Like,
Yeah,
these
what
are the
rule?
rules of
Yeah.
plural. This is all you need to know, except for these other words that have their own
And
rules.
chances are it's
Like
based on
alumnus, alumni,
it's
alumnae.
probably based on Latin, and all the Latins are dead, so nobody's insulted.
Except the English teachers that had to learn this stuff, and so they'll make damn sure you learn
Well,
it
and
too.
the priests, but let's get away.
Oh, the priests haven't had to speak Latin in generations now.
Well, I know, but they still learn it,
Okay,
right?
there is that, I guess.
Although Protestant typically learn Hebrew and then basically New Testament Greek.
So, Magpie, you mentioned she talked about the story she heard on NPR. A blind guy got to be a race car driver for a day. Must have been a Damon's driving school graduate. It was for a charity event, and his sidecar guy was in his headphones watching from the sidetrack. Oh, this is great. Now, Magpie's prediction is she expects 5 debug sessions and 2 full-blown meltdowns. Let's see.
That's optimistic.
Magpie wrote in, dude, my kiddo is going into first grade, and I peeped Latin on his course list. They're teaching Latin in first grade?
In high school, I had a bunch of languages that were available.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, well, I view myself as a scientist and Latin would be important. I took 1 year of Latin and that was it. I mean, it wasn't because the teacher was bad or anything like that. In fact, he was great. He was very enthusiastic. I just kind of like, I'm never going to remember this shit.
All right. Do you know the 2 important things you need to know? How to ask where the bathroom is, and how to order a food that you wouldn't mind living on for a period of time.
those would be the first things for any language. Yes.
Jeune de la toilette, omelette du fromage.
Right.
Where's the toilet? Cheese omelet. Not
That's
necessarily
right.
at the same time.
Yes, right.
First one, then the other.
Yes.
I could survive.
And of course,
in
the
France.
the toilet can be for number 1 or number 2.
Un or deux
Deux.
or toi, a cat, a sink. Or maybe I know a little French.
Yeah. We can pretend. Yeah. I'm the same way, right?
I can count. I don't know how good my pronunciation is, but I
Right,
can
right.
count.
Yeah. Some French teacher is going to be going, "Rrr,
And
why
I
don't
can,
listen to these assholes?"
and I can even count up to 20 because I'm not wearing any socks.
Uh-oh.
Got him!
We just lost Dune. Fortunately, I just went to small screen. I mean, regular screen from full screen. So I missed the smell-o-vision.
Now we find out if Dude's still paying attention.
Right. Hi, Dune.
And if he's not, then we can talk about the fun stuff. But that's...
Right.
Now, not Magpie, writes in, it wasn't offered to us until middle school, but it got him a charter school with uniform, so it's fancier than my public education.
Wow.
Oh, there is that. That's nice. That's nice that you can afford charter school. That is...
Yeah, I was all public school.
I was Catholic school, aka the poor man's private school.
Right.
Or the not poor man's private, the not rich enough for private school, but
even still, see, I take it the Catholic school was fairly cheap, tuition wise or fees. Or
well,
whatever.
it was cheaper than the private schools we looked at.
Yeah.
And I also think being that we were, our family was a good, upstanding Catholic family that participated in our parish, and our parish did not provide a school. I think there was some monetary help there from the church, if I am recalling or understanding correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny as hell. When I was living in Houston, there was a coworker, a guy I didn't I see that much. He mentioned that um, he sent his cool kid to uh, a Lutheran school
Mhm.
because the public school was so bad in his area, which can happen.
Right.
And he was shocked that a religious program was required. Dude, you're at a religious school. They're going to
that-
teach you the shit that they want,
Yeah. And
or
that's
the good stuff, however you want to look at it.
the religious. I mean, heck, the Catholic school I went to was mostly Catholics, but that wasn't the rule. They would absolutely accept people of any denomination, but you were required to take the Catholic class, the religion class that was offered
Sure.
as part of the curriculum, and
Yeah.
you were required to learn it and take the tests of it and receive grades on that.
Right. Of course, now if you live in Texas, the public school will be teaching you some Bible lessons.
And that's alongside the Quran lessons, I take it.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Quran,
that-
or I would be looking forward to the Wiccan Bible.
I mean, there is the argument that is made that when learning in classes that relate to learning about different cultures and their
Yeah.
histories, those classes, it does touch into their religious beliefs because it's a big part of their culture and a big part of what motivates a lot of what goes
Yeah.
on in that area of the world. And there are people that take offense to, well, your separation of church and state policy means you can't teach the Jesus religions in the school, but you're teaching them about Muhammad. And it's like they're not teaching them as beliefs, they're teaching them as cultural significance. But I kind of get the point that when you go hard on the keep Jesus
when I
out of
grew
it,
up, there was part of social studies,
right,
kind of an overview of religion. It was just
and
kind
you
of
can
saying
touch
what
on
it's
all of them.
about.
Right,
Had nothing to do with what you should believe or what you do believe.
right.
These are the different
And
ones.
that makes complete sense. Yeah.
Hey, Catholics and Protestants have been warring against each other physically for centuries.
Which
right?
is something I will never understand, being that they both follow the same dude who is pretty much all about not doing that.
Well, it's because I believe different than you, therefore we have to go to battle.
But like, did you listen to what the guy actually
Exactly.
said?
Exactly.
He kind of
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
"Don't do this shit."
Exactly. That's right.
Like clearly neither of you have paid any attention to the religion you supposedly follow.
Right.
If you're getting in the
Well,
middle of that
and
mess.
okay, so the other thing is the Catholic Church, and I'm not knocking it at all.
Right.
The whole idea that it's Catholic means that it's universal.
Mm.
So it is the church, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Because
Well,
they believe they're the one true
yeah.
church.
Well, of course, and before Martin Luther, many of the upstarts that wanted to go a different way or correct things, they were just executed.
Now, not Magpie writes in, I'm craving ice cream Sammy's. Might be back later. Might get taken by the ADHD. Oh, that ADHD will get you.
All right.
The whole part of this is like, I got it. As much as, on the one hand, CarPi 2.0, I'm taking my time with this one, getting it right. Because CarPi 1.0, I love it. It's been in the car for over a year now, and it's
Yeah.
worked stable without issues, knock on wood, over the past year. But the thing is it never was fully built to everything I wanted for it.
Oh, sure.
And the main reason for that is because it's working good enough and I love it enough that I don't want to fuck it up. You know?
Well, yeah. Anyway, so while you're building 2.0,
So I'm building 2.0 while 1.0 is
still in
working,
operation.
and it's still in operation. And
Good
that-
plan.
Yeah. I bought a new Pi 5, which has like doubled in price since the last Pi 5 I bought.
Oh,
for
yeah.
1.0.
Oh, your 1.0 was Pi 5? I forgot.
Yeah, well, the DAC only works on the Pi 5. So
I see.
that was the only, and that's the only DAC I can find that will do surround output at line level that I can
Yeah.
feed into an external amp. So that kind of really kind of set in stone how this project was going to work.
Right.
So yeah, the CarPi 2.0, I could take my time because I have something I love and it's working in place right now. And this one's the one I can get right before I install it, get everything working right, get all the fade controls, the left and right controls. And
Now, is the old one and the new one the maximum amount of RAM available?
well, they're not the max, they're 8 gig. I think 16 gigs the max, which is stupid money. 8 gig has been running perfectly adequate for PlexAmp, which PlexAmp is going to be the heaviest thing that runs on this because PlexAmp is turned off when it goes to the radio mode, which is just running a little USB device.
Right.
Bluetooth pairing, heck, I mean, a Pi Zero could do that for breakfast. At Ice Cream Sammy. Anyways, the whole thing is though, I'm hoping I finish the CarPi 2.0 before ADHD takes over and goes, hey, that's a cute little GE TV sitting on the floor next to you. Let's see what we can do with that. Because it is tempting. And plus, I still have been intending to dig into one of my CGA monitors on the workbench in the basement after I finish building the Bluetooth converted old portable 8-track player. So the ADHD is always, which there's a fun thing. Apparently, I now have to convince the medical institutions again that I'm ADD. Maybe I should just send them a link to the show, and let them listen to a few episodes.
Right.
And I think that should, because remember a while ago, I started thinking, I wonder if modern adult ADHD medication could help me focus a little better, and I'd be open to trying it since it's my idea and not parents badgering me to take the pills so I won't yell at them. So I asked about that, and they basically said, well, we'll send you through for a study. I did the study, and the study came back that I'm coping so well that the study can't really find any conclusive. They can't. They couldn't.
Well, that's kind of good news, right? You don't need no freaking medication.
It's good news, bad news. Like, I'm coping so well that the study basically left it that we can't rule out the possibility that you have ADD, but we also can't confirm a diagnosis. And they recommended some focus classes or some other thing that I'll probably, one of these days, maybe I'll look that up and get to that after I finish all these projects. So I recently got a new primary care provider, and he's looking through the records. He's like, tell me more about this, lack of focus at work. And I explained that all to him. He's like, well, would you like to? And so he said, okay, do you have a lot of unfinished projects? I mean, do you have a few unfinished projects? I'm like, more than a few. Do you interrupt people? Yeah, from time
yes. So you're also talking all of my symptoms. Do I have unfinished project? Not too many.
Well, I mean, when I first met you, shortly after I met you, you start talking about your whamola. Is that what that is?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, how long was that sitting in the garage?
Oh, it never has. Oh, no.
That's been there all along? I thought that got buried
it's
somewhere.
moved around. Yeah, it moves around.
That's going to be cool. You're going to have to demonstrate that after you finish building that. So he basically said, all right, well, let's start you on a little something here. Would you like to try? I'm like, yeah, sure. And so he writes a prescription, and he sends it into the pharmacy. And the pharmacy goes, well, we need approval from your insurance company, and they send it back. And then the insurance company sends me a letter explaining why they've not approved this because I don't have a diagnosis. So now I have to convince the insurance people that they don't know better than my doctor. And generally, that's not an easy task because as far as they're concerned, they know far better. In fact, why would we even go see the doctors? We should go see the accountants that run the
insurance company.
Because they know all this stuff way better than any doctor does.
Actually, the person that works with your doctor that files the claims to the insurance companies,
right?
they typically know well. The experienced ones,
Right.
the inexperienced will code something wrong and you get fucked over. But the good one will know how to code it properly so to get paid.
Right.
But-
Like it, and I've talked about that where the lab that draws the blood, sometimes they send it in because there's a code that covers the whole panel, and my
Right,
insurance
right, right.
company doesn't accept that code because even though that code is described as a preventive care code, they don't describe it as preventive care. So they have to, and so I call them and they basically go, well, your insurance company turned it down, so you're just going to have to pay that. And I'm like, the fuck you talking about? That's preventive care. That's covered. Like, we'll take it up with the insurance company. And the insurance company goes,
Yeah.
we won't talk to you because you're not the entity that sent this claim over. I'm like, the fuck you. So I literally had to talk to 2 brick walls that say you're talking to the wrong person. You have to talk
This
to the
is
other brick
exactly
wall
why
over
I
there.
like Kaiser.
But when I called back the lab, I got the person you referred to, the one that knows how to work the system, that knows the codes. And she's like, oh,
Right.
I see what that dipshit did. They didn't say that part out loud.
Right,
but
right,
I could
right,
tell.
right.
It's like, oh, fucking dipshit. I've told them how many fucking times how
Right,
to.
right.
You got to break it out into 5 separate codes. You can't just use the one easy code. They're good. I'll take care of this. Don't worry about it. And sure enough, it got paid. So.
It blows my mind.
But again, who needs doctors when we have all these, accountants working for insurance companies that know far better what our medical needs are than any doctor could ever know? Really, we should just cut the middleman out. Go in, have some person in a suit tell us no.
My favorite
go
story.
home and die.
My favorite story is, so my brother knows this woman that's from Austria.
Uh-huh.
She's lived in the United States. She lived in Dominican Republic. She worked. She happens to be a doctor. She was living in the Far East someplace, I think Vietnam, for a short time. Anyway, all over the world, and she had a medical problem, and it was covered by Austrian's medical insurance. Says, yeah, you're fully covered. So she hops on a plane, goes to Austria, gets it all done, comes back, and then she gets a letter from them and says, oh, by the way, did you flew or something, travel expenses to get to Austria? Yes. And how much was that? Such and such. Oh, and we'll pay that too.
Yeah, no,
Motherfucker.
medical tourism is absolutely a thing because of how fucked up the insurance companies are.
Well, she
in
happens
this
to be
country.
a citizen of Austria, so she can do that.
Right. But I
You know,
mean,
you and I can't go to Austria to get
no,
it.
but like I know people that have family or heritage from other countries, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, the dental work is so cheap there. I don't even bother, like, oh, I need some more work on my teeth. I need to plan another vacation.
Right.
Go get my teeth.
So I was following this woman on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a dental issue, and she told her viewers that she was going to Mexico to get it done.
Mhm.
And people were going, "Oh my God, Mexico's so dangerous! Don't do that." Whatever.
There's some parts
Yeah,
of this
whatever.
country that I think
Anyway,
are
so
pretty dangerous.
second.
Well, there's some parts of this country that are pretty dangerous.
Oh, yeah, no
Any
doubt, no
country's
doubt.
got their dangerous territories.
Anyway, so she did it and then explained, "Oh yes, this procedure was so much cheaper in Mexico than the U.S. It's just unbelievable." And they did a great job.
Yeah,
And I've heard, and I hear stories about people going into Canada to get procedures done.
there's that too.
Now, one
But,
thing that blows my mind, there was a fellow that I met. He was a veteran, so he had the VA, and I've understood that the VA can be really good if you get in the right place, right?
I've also heard it could be bad.
It's mixed. I don't know the details of it, but
Me
anyway, he was getting some of his cancer treatment with the VA, but also went to Canada to get some cancer treatment, and I don't really understand the duality and how that works. But
Yeah, that's weird. We're getting out of
Yeah,
our
very
element,
weird.
though.
and he was older, so Is this guy already dead? I don't know.
So another cool AI story. I think we might have exhausted the car pie at this point. I do at some point want to post maybe a better video to the Quadcast channel. So if any of the Quadcast people are catching this and getting bored with the medical talk, not only there's so many cool things going on at Plex. It is if you didn't get your lifetime pass before they like tripled the price, I'm sorry, man. You missed out on the golden opportunity.
Oh, I saw those notifications to get that, and I go, why do I need it? I don't pay them a dime.
Well, there's a lot you get for free, and you could do a lot for free. For example, if you want to be able to stream remotely, so like if your server is in your main house and you go to the beach house and you have a Roku stick in the beach house, you can sign into Plex on the Plex app on your Roku stick, and it will just over the internet connect to your server and stream from there. I believe that used to be free. I believe that requires a Plex pass to do now.
Oh,
now,
okay.
Let me let you in on a secret.
Yeah.
Because it's too late to get a affordable Plex pass. It's gone up to $750 now. But you can get the 5-year you can get the 5-year option for $250.
Now, what was the lifetime before?
Well, when I bought it, it was under $200. I think it was like $199 or something like that. And then they raised it up to $250. And then at the beginning of this month, they raised it up to $750. And now 5 years, $250. Or basically, they've reached that tipping point where it's no longer profitable or attainable, or they can't do business like that anymore. For what they're providing, they need to.
Who's the service that started off with you have a lifetime membership for free, and then that expired, but those people that signed up early have it free forever?
Well,
I don't remember who it was.
I've heard of free for life checking accounts, but sometimes banks weasel their ways out of that too.
Well, my credit union has never charged me a nickel.
Yeah, well, my bank neither.
And I've had this credit union since '88.
Yeah, but But that's where. But the thing that you could do to work around that is a real great thing that people are talking a lot about now is Tailscale, which is basically you install Tailscale on your devices and on your server, and that acts kind of like a VPN that allows them to act like they're on the same network even when you take them out and remote. Now, I don't know how you would get that on a Roku stick, but like if you had like a Pi that you were running something on, or some type of device that you're running Plex, you could then view your Plex material with Tailscale, keep it everything. Sometimes people use as an Plex alternative is Jellyfin, because Jellyfin offers a lot of that DIY home media server, but it's built to be local. It's not built to do it over internet remotely. But if you add Tailscale to your devices, now you can do remote. But I gotta tell you, no regrets buying my Plex lifetime pass, especially since I did it before 2 price increases. But to do the headless Plexamp like I'm doing, headless Plexamp requires syncing to a Plex pass. Now, the thing is, headless Plexamp has kind of reached a end of development, because the guy and one of the founders, I believe, of Plex, Elon, he has started working on another personal project called Caldera, which has been released. And there are different versions of Caldera, desktop player, and there's a headless version of it. And it is way more lightweight than Plexamp. When I try to run Plexamp on my Pi 3, when it gets to 192 kilohertz multi-channel files, it stutters, it chokes, it can't play them. Caldera plays them without issue on my Pi 3. Now, I did run into some problems on the Pi 3 playing them remotely, and they're not bandwidth issues, but I can't figure out what they are. But the Pi 4 does, with Caldera headless, can play 192 kilohertz multi-channel remotely, as long as your Wi-Fi has the bandwidth to support it without issue. Local Pi 3 can handle it perfectly fine. And the great thing about Caldera Headless, it interacts with your Plex server. It uses your Plex server. It's controlled by the PlexAmp app, but it's not a Plex application, and so it does not require a Plex Pass. Completely free. The only downside I have with Caldera is that the reason why PlexAmp is able to manage what I need it to manage in the car is because it has the capability of taking my music collection and having my server transcode it down to Opus encoded lossy audio. So that way I need less bandwidth, which is an issue when you're using a mobile phone as a hotspot, because I believe my ISP allows me something like 30 or 50 gig a month before they'd start throttling me. And if I was just doing the high res FLAC 192 kilohertz multi-channel, I'd suck that up in a few hours, and then someone at Xfinity would flip the switch and suddenly my car can't play music. So having that having that ability to transcode down the Opus, it's good enough for the car, as they say.
Are you on an unlimited plan with Verizon?
Yeah, so it's unlimited data, but
they'll still suck you over.
It's fairly standard, and it's even listed in their terms that there are limitations to the amount of data for a hotspot, and that when you reach that point,
I like Dune's comment. Sounds like cannoli. I'm sorry, calzone.
Cannoli.
The next version will be calzone.
It's
cannoli. I mean,
but so anyways, I'm gonna.
I blew the joke completely.
My apology. Would you like to?
No, it was my fault.
Would you like to fix it? Would you like to try it again, and we'll fix it in post?
Okay. Yes, the next version will be cannoli. I almost couldn't say it.
I like that better.
Yeah.
I'll take a cannoli over a calzone any day. Well, a cannoli is like a dessert calzone, isn't it?
I guess. Actually, I was
filling Italian.
I was leading my men's group. You know, I have a weekly men's group on Tuesdays, and usually it's the guy that's running it brings all the snacks. And he was out, so this other guy and I, he was out for a few weeks. This other guy and I were taking turns with the deals, and I brought in. I said, "What the hell? I'm going to buy the group some cannolis." And stopped at, usually we make coffee there, but it stopped at Starbucks or Pete's for coffee, which was funny because it was after hours. And I mean, it was not after hours, it was late. And there's, we don't have anything coffee pot, so you can't get regular coffee now, which is weird.
That's weird for a coffee.
But they could do any of the espressos, including the Americano, which basically is American style coffee.
Yeah. Well, that's like the same ratio, but it's putting it's adding a espresso into hot water. So it waters it down to the same ratio,
the same level
as a coffee, but
quite frankly, it's good.
So. Yeah, no. Gothard was introduced me to the Americano. We went to a coffee shop before or after a concert or something.
And when I was in Singapore, all you could get would be like American coffee was Americano. They didn't even offer.
And to me, it tasted like good coffy. It
is good coffee. Yeah, right.
My palate's not that refined. I probably do go to more effort for coffee than I need to for my palate. I try.
Well, I mean, it tastes
like coffee to me.
You're still getting over Folgers crystals, right?
I'm long past that.
Okay.
I
just kind of bringing that up.
I do need to develop a roll of Kodachrome though, so I may have to dig out the Folgers crystals some point.
Oh.
So because I did shoot a roll of Kodachrome on the beach when I was on my vacation.
Nice.
Yeah, I did that
on the video.
Movie.
Yeah.
Movie Kodachrome.
Movie. Yeah.
No, I don't do still shots of Kodachrome.
Oh, so I saw this cool camera, and it's not that expensive. This is with Lomography.
Okay.
So it's a regular camera size, but it has a handle. and the thing's called a spinner.
Huh.
So you hold it out like this, push the button, and the thing spins all the way around. And when you develop it, it's a super wide panoramic.
Oh,
And
wow.
if you're in the view, when it turns around and hits you, you end up being in the center of the frame.
That's cool.
That's very cool. I'd be tempted to get one, but and it's 35 millimeter.
Uh-huh.
It would be a toy. Yes, that's what all my film stuff are anyway, is toys. So
Right.
should I get it? I don't know. I don't think I will, but it's a cool idea.
That is a cool idea. But
There's another camera that they have. It's called the Sprocket Rocket. I don't know the mechanics of it, but it comes up with a panoramic. I think it clicks. I'm guessing that it clicks like 3 frames. So you get a big panoramic. They call it a sprocket rocket because typically when they print it, quote unquote, they show the sprockets of the 35 millimeter.
oh,
Some people will edit that out so you only have the image part,
that makes sense.
which actually is better. I mean,
Yeah.
if I was going to print it and put it on the wall, I wouldn't want those sprockets. That would look,
That's
my
kind of
humble
like,
opinion, looks stupid. But
that's kind of like the movie film scanners will usually scan the movie film so that it shows overlap of the frames on the top and the bottom and the sprocket hole to the side. And
Right.
and then some people that if they do a scan and they upload to like Facebook to the groups, they just share the raw scan as is, and so you do see that frames on the top and the bottom, but you just focus on the and of course normally if you're going to want to really make that into a version to view, you're going to crop that and edit that. But if you just do a quick scan and throw it up there, that's a thing.
what was really funny is the lomography site. The intent is to be only analog images, right? Once in a while, you'll throw a digital image. In fact, I threw a few digital image. So, here's the analog deal in 120 film. And here it is on a digital camera as a comparison, right?
Right.
Nobody actually complained about that. One guy was posting a bunch of photos from a high-end Canon mirrorless, and he got this guy complaining, well, look, that's a digital image. This is only for analog. I just wanted to reply to the guy, says, by the way, what analog scanner do you use?
Oh, there you go.
Dumbass.
Finally got the sound effects up.
Oh, good.
We
And you got the right one.
Yeah, and that means that being that it's taken me this long to get the sound effects, and I haven't even announced the show title that you are currently tuned into.
Insert title here.
And there's our studio audience applauding for us. So, anyways, I wanted to talk a little more about AI.
Oh, right.
Because I did another thing yesterday. Yesterday, I did some flea market shopping, and I bought a bunch of tapes and records, and we'll talk about that next. But I didn't find or look at any board games. So I don't know why when I got home from flea market shopping and started playing a few of the tapes I bought, I started thinking about old board games. But suddenly I remembered a board game from my childhood called Bazaar. And I'm not even sure if board game is the right way to describe it because there's no board. There's no playing surface. If anything, it has cards. But they're not cards that you hold in your hand or play. They're cards that you purchase with these jewels that you have. So it's kind of a buying and trading type of game to try to buy the most goods. And so I was remembering this game. I used to
Monopoly without a board, as it were.
well, you're not charging rent to other people.
Right.
You're not trying to bankrupt people. You're just trying to both earn the most points by.
So it's a game of storage wars.
It's maybe kind of.
Yeah, no, I'm only kidding.
Well, so what is my impulse reaction whenever I think of some toy or thing I had in my childhood? Look it up on eBay, see how much it would cost me. And usually it's hard to resist spending $20 or $30 to buy this thing you have a fond memory of, so you can hold it and see it again and
Sure.
put it on a shelf and have it clutter up space and never think about it again for years. You got to leave behind as much crap for the next generation to have to throw out as you can. So yeah, I want.
It's like every once in a while I look up this. I had a Tonka camper, pickup truck with a camper on the back,
Okay.
and I really liked it. And that's long gone. I don't know where the heck it went. But once I look that up on eBay to see if one is available, and you look at them, and they kind of go, "Oh, the plastic is so yellowed, I would not get that piece of shit."
Oh,
So yeah, I just haven't found the right one. I mean,
but
would I get it really? I don't know. It depends on the price.
but
They probably want too much.
yeah, and that can be hard. Some things are easy, some things are collectible, some things are, and then condition is everything.
Sure.
But so I'm looking at the game and the copies of the game on eBay, and it's like like for maybe $30-ish, including shipping, I could have one. And I thought to myself, but what am I going to do with it? Who has time to round up friends for an old board game or tabletop game or whatever?
Especially something unusual.
So
In fact, I find it interesting for.
so I asked Claude Code to make one for me.
Oh, okay.
You were starting to say?
It's like you see these different Monopoly games that are available
Right.
that are themed, or like on the phone, there's one that's mixes Monopoly and The Simpsons.
Yeah, well, Monopoly's got all kinds of themed versions.
Yeah.
But anyways, I went and I found the rules, and I posted the rules to Claude Code, and I said, "Can you make me a Windows version of this?" And it made a very rough version of it. The thing is that the way it works is that there's a deck of 45 cards that have these different patterns on them. Some of them with stars in the middle, some of them without. And there are 10 of these cards that we see 2 of that have different trading values. And every time you play a game, 2 of these cards are selected at random that put out. Those are the trades that you can make with the jewels that you can get. And then these cards are bought with those jewels. And scoring depends on how many jewels you have left after making the purchase. The less jewels you have left over after making a purchase, the higher the score is. And you get an extra point if the card has a star on it as well. The star cards are generally combinations that are harder to acquire. And everybody plays until you deal out 20 of the cards, 5 piles each. Once one of the piles is depleted, the score goes up an extra point. And then once a second pile is depleted, play ends, and whoever has the highest score wins. So I went on eBay and got images from people's pictures of what this card looks like and edited this into Photoshop to have a transparency in the diamond in the middle of those value cards, so that way the AI can incorporate these images into the game and then generate the values, which I also was able to get pictures off of eBay of what the 10 different cards values have on them, so that it can generate those gem images on them. So it does have the 10 cards programmed in here. Now, getting the deck of 45 cards, that was a little more tricky, because there are way more than 45 combinations that these gems can be put into on the cards.
Right.
That required a little bit of help. It would have probably required getting a copy of the game, but someone else had already done that. I cheated a little. There is a game available through Steam called Tabletop Simulator that is $20. That is a type of a thing that allows you to build and customize different tabletop games and then play them online with other people and friends. And you can buy add-on tabletop games with it. And then there's a community of people that will make their own custom tabletop games. And so there is someone that actually, as a hobby, or as it must be a hobby because he's not charging for them, he makes versions of tabletop. He makes versions of old collectible games in tabletop simulator versions of them, so people could play these old games without having to buy a copy of them. And so he had made a tabletop simulator version of Bazaar. So I paid the $20 to buy Tabletop Simulator so I could get his free version and have it download to Tabletop Simulator. And then I pointed Claude Code to the folder it downloaded all the data to, and Claude Code was able to dig that up and get the information about the decks of cards, and from that generate these images, which again, this order is a image I found online of an actual playing card from the game, and I again made a transparency in the middle, and it generated the navy background and made these gems, so based off of the data from. So yeah, this is a totally playable version, few hours of time that I have that I can now play against computer players, and so far I've beat the stuffing out of the computer players because they're so fucking dumb. So I did, just before the show, ask Claude Code if it could do something to make the computer players a little more smarter. So I don't know how well it did, but basically, so computer player 2 got to go first. It rolled this dice has all the 5 colors of gems on each side of it, plus a 6-sided star, which is wild. So on your turn, you could either roll the dice and take a gem of that color, or you could make a trade if you have gems available that would do one of these transactions on these cards. And these transactions work both ways. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll the dice because I don't have any gems. I've got a green gem. Of course, I only have 1 gem. I don't have enough to buy anything. So I am going to resize this window because it is being a dick to me right now and cutting off the button. Fucking
When you're
suck.
just trying to
And turn.
yeah, just cut off your name and address, right?
There we go. That's what I'm doing. So I now have 1 green gem. Now, one other thing is I might tell it to try to make the computer players go a little slower so you could actually see. I mean, it's got this game log that shows what's happening. That's not very slick, but that is informative. But I wonder if there's a way I could slow it down and make it more visual what the computer players are doing. Make
Right.
the dice a little more visual than just a randomized face. Maybe make some kind of anime. This is the kind of the first version. So I could trade green for a white and a yellow, or I could trade green for a blue and 2 reds. Right now, well, if the best card to go for right now would be the 4 blues and a red, which I could get a blue and 2 red, but that's more red than I need. Or I could go for the white and the yellow, which up here there's a white, 2 green, 2 yellow. But I'd be giving up a green, which I do need for that, but that would give me 2 that I need for that. Or I could go for the luck of rolling the dice again. I think I'm going to go with the blue and the 2 red, because that gives me 2 gems that I could use for the most valuable card showing right now, since the star is more valuable. So I'm going to do that trade. And then that's my turn. Because if you do a trade, you don't roll the dice. And so now, what did CPU2 do? Oh, CPU2 already made a trade. Okay. How did it already make a trade on its second turn? It must have done some good trading. It bought a...
Maybe he cheated.
No. I mean, well, this is the thing. This kind of proves a bit that the computer's a bit smarter now, because it figured out with the trades available on the cards and what was there, how to...
Oh, I see. Yeah.
How to get a card in 2 turns, which is impressive. So at this point, I do have a blue and 2 reds, so that's 2 gems towards that first card and an extra red. Can I trade that red for anything? I mean, a red can be traded for a white, blue, green, and yellow. That gives me an extra blue, but that gives me a whole bunch of crap that I don't want. So I'm going to roll the dice again. And I got an extra white, which maybe I could use in a trade. Anyways, I think that's about as much of this game I can play and narrate before this gets too boring.
Right.
So now, Brian, what are your thoughts on that? I spent a few hours with AI, most of it AI just cranking away in the background and me, asking a few questions here and there. and got this playable game out. Are you surprised at this, or is this kind
No,
of
I think it's cool.
expectations?
To me, it's yeah. What can it be really used for?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a lot of sites on Facebook or whatever that want nothing to do with AI. Arr!
Mm.
It's here. It's going to happen.
You can
Learn
refuse
how to use it
it.
or just go die.
You can refuse to use it, but that ain't going to stop everyone
Exactly.
else. You're not
I,
doing
I
yourself
saw,
any
and I don't
favors.
remember the product. There is a way you can build an AI machine that's local and it isn't fucking spying on you.
Yeah, I thought that would be kind of cool. The thing I have with that though is that if it's all local, how is it learning? How is it storing the whole knowledge of the universe into your like?
Well, I mean, you could feed it with data that you collect of areas of your interest.
I mean, to me, that's kind of limiting. Which, if you have a use,
I understand that.
if you have a use, I mean that is where I've always thought of corporations having their own corporate AI that has their corporate data in it, because if you got
Right.
libraries of
And I think that's the danger is the corporate libraries.
Right.
You don't want your financial information suddenly be out there, or all of the detailed cost and
right.
sell of all your stuff. I mean,
But if you have corporate data that needs to stay within the corporation, that would be beneficial to be able to ask a virtual being questions about
Right.
it that can instantaneously tell you anything without having to look it up. Obviously, that's the direction local AI models are going to go. I mean, I think they're already doing that. I think that's already a feature of you
Right.
could have it internal that doesn't touch the web mode that has access to your corporate data, or then you could switch over to the it goes out in the world, but be careful what you tell it, because
Exactly.
like don't be giving it medical data, but you could go ask it how to
Right.
fix a computer problem that a nurse or a doctor
Exactly.
might be having.
right.
Yeah.
And then the next question, if you're into an AI deal, is it scanning your computer to figure out more about you? So maybe you have a separate computer that does you pay your bills, you have your financial information, et cetera, that's isolated from the AI monster.
I've kind of thought about. I mean, for now, I'm using Claude Code on my main machine, but that's because Claude Code lives in Virtual Studio, a Visual Studio Code, and it asks me if it's. I tell it what folder to do the project in, and if it needs to access other things like my Pi or install
Right.
different tools to do it, it asks me, and I say yes, and I see it's running this command, which is accessing this. Which is actually getting annoying in a way that I have to keep telling it, yes, you could do that, yes, you could do that, yes, you could do that, but it's at
Sure.
some it hasn't said, hey, all right, if I open up a browser and see what passwords you got saved for your banking information, it's not asking.
Yeah, do that.
So that's where
that's no problem.
that's where I'm kind of thinking, like, maybe it would be beneficial for me to build a VM and put Claude Code on there and Visual Studio Code on there, and set it to some kind of mode to just say yes to everything involving this machine. You own this machine. If you fuck up this machine, I could just delete you.
Right.
So that might be where, but for now I'm running it on my main machine, answering yes to things and making sure it's just accessing things that make sense, and not like, going looking for personal data over in my Google Chrome browsing history, and tell the world all the weird shit that goes on there.
I find it interesting. So you do the drive-throughs to some fast food place, and as I like to say, it's some robot that starts with your order. It starts off usually suggesting what's on sale, right? And then a human gets on and takes your order. Carl Jr. has been elevating that automated deal. Now, I don't know if AI is involved, and I have had completed a couple of transactions, no human intervention until you get to the window. The AI doesn't know how to stick out its hand to take your money.
That reminds me of a really funny video I saw. Let me see. God, I gotta find it now. Oh, I think this is it. Someone found out how to.
Welcome to Taco Bell. What can I get started for you today?
Can I get 18,000 water cups, please?
Okay. What can I get for you?
Oh, that's not the original. God damn it! I hate it when people make things that are not the original, and then
Right.
you try to find the original.
It's a cool
show.
idea, and then they create a new one to replace.
Right, but that's the one. Someone ordered 18,000 water cups from the Taco Bell AI. Now that I know the specifics, Taco Bell 18,000 water cups. I'll just find it on YouTube. That should show me the original, and then I could screen share my thing so you could see. Not that you need to see it; it's just a speaker box. The audio is really all that's relevant there, but we may as well.
The interesting thing is that how much does it want to charge you for that?
Water cups are free. That's
Well, yeah.
But
Hi, welcome to Taco Bell. What can I get started for you today?
Can I get 18,000 water cups, please?
Okay. What can I get for you? Hi.
Did that throw him to the human?
right. Well, the human cut it off. Because it was going to accept the order. I think it was starting.
Once I went in through the drive-through, and I call it the robot, took about half the order, and then the person took over. I drove up the window and I asked the guy, "So is it just you and the robot?" I think there was actually a person that was cooking.
I will say that,
and he didn't respond. He kind of grinned.
At this point in time, our Wendy's has AI drive-through robot, and the AI drive-through robot takes the full order or attempts to take the full order.
Yeah.
But the employees still wear the headsets and still listen to
still
the microphone.
monitor. Sure.
So I don't think this results in freeing up staffing needs in this particular instance. I think it frees up the employees to be more efficient and getting the food in the bag and spending less time.
Well, if the person multitasks, he can be listening to what the robot is doing, and taking money from the prior customer,
right, and then
putting the order out, asking, do you need you need Disgusto sauce with that?
It makes the same workforce more efficient, but I don't see it getting to the point where we can fire someone because they're already multitasking that task anyway.
Well, especially late hours, you only have a few people on.
Yeah,
so
and you gotta have at least you gotta have at least two people in an establishment.
You're gonna have a cook.
Yeah,
and you're gonna have a deal. I like the. Whenever I haven't been actually to Five Guys in a long time, but I like the idea. You go into Five Guys and you look around to figure out how many people do they have on duty. Oh, there's one guy that's taking out the trash, so it is 5.
So but when I drove up to the Wendy's, it was actually really infuriating because the AI was programmed to the menu. And the ad boards before you got to the menu were advertising some new kind of Frosty special type of thing where they mix in like brownie bits or something in the Frosty or something like that. There's some kind of mix in Frosty special, and they're basically advertising like, order this. Like they're telling me to order this. They are encouraging me to order this.
Yes.
And I decided,
why not?
Why not? So I order, cheeseburger, chicken sandwich, fries, whatever, I order in the AI. And then I order the Frosty thing. And the AI goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. That's a mobile order only option."
What the hell?
And I was pissed off because, you're literally throwing this in my face, telling me to order this, and now you're telling me that you won't sell it to me, not because you don't have it, but because I didn't place the order through my phone. Like, if I pulled over to a parking spot and I placed the order on my phone and got back in line, then you'd sell it to me. But there's no sense arguing with a robot.
They're promoting their app, which I get, but it's stupid. I'm with you.
Right.
Because I don't... You know what's funny? I went to... I tell you, we like to go to Smashburger.
Yeah.
And we got there once, and oh crap, the registers were down. They only could take orders through the app. Sorry, our the deals are down. And then the Wi-Fi wasn't working, and cell service sucked outside. So I had to go outside, download the app, and set it all up, set up my account, right? And then I go, how do I put in a credit card? I couldn't complete an order because it wouldn't.
It wouldn't take
what the hell?
Well, that sucks.
Why is this difficult? So
Yeah,
I've never
is-
even completed doing the app.
So
And so we went off to. Actually, I think we kind of backtracked and went to a Wendy's. I think it was.
there you go. Well,
Now this past weekend we went to the Wendy's in Dublin on the way down to the beach house.
right.
The bun was absolutely horrible. The burger was very mediocre. It's like I have never had a Wendy's so bad in my life.
Yeah, Wendy's is usually good. There's something wrong with that location.
I think. Well, I'm not sure. My theory is
I've had Wendy's
that
in the
the
past
bean
week. It was
counters-
delicious.
exactly. That's why we used to always go.
Yeah.
But they closed the one in San Ramon. So, whatever. Which
Well,
actually is not bad because there's an excellent 24-hour Mexican place that's good.
I would look into complaining to corporate about that Wendy's because that is certainly not to the standards that the corporate
I was just floored.
yeah, no.
A lot of times I kind of go, well, this is not a great burger, but it's good enough. This was, I mean, hours later was still tasting this shitty bun.
Oh. No, that you need
I had to
complain
go
about
eat
that.
something
You need
to get rid
yeah.
of that taste.
You had to go wash it down with a nice shot of Malort to get the taste.
Oh, there
out.
you go. I didn't think of that.
That right there. That'll do it.
I don't remember what I killed the taste with.
But
Whatever. Yeah.
but back to my Wendy's order where they told me, oh no, that's a mobile app only thing. When I'm staring at the screen saying
Yeah.
you should order this, but I'm not arguing with a robot. Robot's gonna win. So I'm just like, fine, whatever. And they give me my order. I drive to the window. And so the guy at the window there, I'm like, well, I'm complaining to this guy. And I'm like, hey, I tried to order and he's like, oh, I'll hook you up, brother. And
Yeah. All right.
And then one time I was ordering at the Wendy's and I order like a burger fry and an unsweetened iced tea. It's like, I'm sorry, we're out of unsweetened iced tea. And I'm like, oh, fine, whatever. Give me a Coke. I guess I could drink a gallon of candy. So I go around the window to the window. As soon as I get to the window, the lady says, we do have the unsweetened iced tea. Would you rather have that than the soda? I'm like, yes, please. So they were actually, no, I don't think I even had to drive around. I think the lady interrupted the AI and said, oh, I'm sorry, sir. We actually have it. Like she shut it down at one of those ways it's out played out. She hooked me up.
Do
with
you ever
some
go to
iced tea.
Baskin Robbins?
Been a long time, but yeah.
We go to Baskin Robbins in Monterey once in a while.
Mhm.
And one of the items they have that's seasonable is baseball nut. It's available
Baseball
during
nut.
baseball season. So it has a raspberry flavor, vanilla, and these nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Anyway, we went in there and they go, I'm sorry, we're out of it. We'll get some more in a few days. It's not off season, we're just out of it. Sorry. So we order something different. And we sit down at this table right next to the little refrigerator with the pre-packed ice cream things. They're half a gallon or something like that.
Yeah.
And what did they have there? They had baseball nut.
They had the prepackaged baseball nut.
So we bought it, after our ice cream. And as we were walking that door, let's see, the 2 ice creams we bought was about $10. And what did this thing cost? Which is a lot more ice cream. It's about $10. Fuck.
But it's not fresh scooped right there in front of you.
we can scoop it. In fact, we didn't even open up. It's at the beach house. So
it's waiting for you for the off season.
exactly.
There you go. Get some ball nut going there, and you'll be all set.
Yeah. That was funny.
Yeah,
Oh, I see you have it in the refrigerator here.
but that's not.
Done.
They don't have the scoopable version. They have
Right.
the you scoop it yourself.
Or they're not going to scoop it for you. Yes.
You should have been like, "Oh, can I buy that? And could you get me a bowl? And could I borrow a scoop?
Could you scoop it in a bowl for me? And I'll take the rest home, and then I'll have seconds.
Can I just borrow that scoop? I'll be right back." Never mind. Just give me the spoon. I'll leave it all here.
In fact, it wasn't busy. I think they would have scooped it if we asked them. That would have been funny.
That would have been. That's
Anyway.
too bad. Anyway, so what about you, Brian? Have you thought of any incorporating AI to any of your projects or your fun little things?
Not really. It's good to hear that people are actually doing some projects. I mean, you see AI all the time. In fact, a lot of posts on Facebook, people are saying, "Well, I don't like that AI shit." I'm not sure how you can tell.
I mean, there's AI slop that is like infiltrating content now, and
Yeah.
and what's really kind of the eye rolling type of thing now is when older generations who kind of scroll the phone things and share things kind of show you funny cat videos that involve them kind of like this is not a real cat, like and they're like, "Oh, I think that's AI." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I know that's AI."
Actually, there's this
So-
one video I watch once in a while. It's this woman that has this cat. Well, this cat is as big as a medium-sized dog.
Yeah, no, that's
And
probably
this
AI.
cat will climb up on it and purrs like a V8 engine. I mean, it's really awesome. It's really well done. It must be AI because I have never heard of a domesticated cat
The problem
that's
is
that big.
for every well done AI video that is a unique, interesting use of AI to create something creative, there's a shit ton of slop that anyone. I mean, like you and I. Or me and Dune, we had our fun with little prompts and making our silly little things and sharing them on our
Sure.
show. But I don't go sharing it with the world because I know this is funny to me. This is not funny to 10,000 other Americans. Seeing random strangers they don't know dressed up in 80s breakdancing gear. What the fuck is that? But people who know us seeing you, me, 10, Mars, and Gothard dressed up like an 80s breakdance crew. That's fucking funny to the people that know. I don't know if you showed any of those pictures to your wife.
Now, I hesitate getting something that smells political, but have you seen the pictures of Mitch McConnell recently? Allegedly, they're showing pictures of Mitch McConnell. We think that he's in the hospital with his wife there.
Right.
Somewhere still, and there's one that's a video I just saw,
There's
but the
no-
still ones are funny. Okay, Mitch has 6 fingers for some reason, and the woman, his wife, has 3 arms.
That's the fake one. People have taken the
Taken
official photo.
The official one. Yeah, apparently there is a person that was at the hospital, or a staff member,
Yeah.
that took a picture, put it out there, and AI's been screwing up, and it
Well-
kind of looks real, but it's
Well,
funny.
Well, other people have been fucking with the photo. Now, I
Sure.
have seen claims that the proof of life photo that has been released is somehow doctored. I think the most prevalent claim is that it's a picture from a time he was in the hospital in 2023. Yet no one has produced any actual versions of the 2023 photo. No one has produced any credible evidence that photo is faked. So as
Yeah.
far as we know, Mitch McConnell is still alive. And they say that you should never speak ill of the dead. And so I'd like to personally thank all the Republicans in Congress that have gone to great measures to ensure the American public know it is still okay to shit talk Mitch McConnell. Get him in while you can. So, thank you for that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. That
The
is-
funniest one I heard is, yeah, you never should speak well of the dead, but Lindsey Graham is dead. Good.
Well, that's an old recycled one.
Yeah, sure,
And-
sure.
and-
And,
and-
although I
and,
hadn't heard it before, but I'm amused by it. But
Yeah, I have.
whatever, I don't care.
I'm not going to say anything bad about Lindsey Graham. I have nothing good to say about Lindsey Graham. I'm not.
I
gonna
don't have to say
celebrate.
a damn thing, right?
No celebration, but no mourning is my take
Right.
on it. I'm just going to leave it there.
Right.
I mean, you could go the way
Anyway.
Trump went about Mueller, but I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah, we can depart from any further hints at.
Thus ends the
yes.
political segment
Right.
of the show.
That's right. That's right. And we apologize. We didn't mean to offend anybody.
Well, you know what? If someone's offended, I'm not
Tough shit.
sorry.
Oh,
I'm not sorry, but I don't feel good about it.
yeah, right.
I think that works.
We have a total of 2 people on. You and me, right?
Well, it was saying 4, and now it's saying 3. So I think once you broach the topic of Mitch, Dune went and
Okay.
needed to go check out.
Well, he said his joke, which was good. The calzone.
he needs to go check on the cats. Is what he needs to do.
Right.
Make sure the neighborhood cats are getting fed. I think is.
By the way, do you see the ads for the Nordic Beast? It's a treadmill
no.
for cats.
Is that one of those like running loop things?
Yeah, it's a big wheel, big hamster wheel.
Those things have existed for forever.
Yeah,
I've
but I
seen-
mean, they are promoting it. Exercise for your cat, which is good. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm sure other people have made it, but maybe they have perfected it. Hey, usually your exercise equipment is for humans, but that's okay.
I look at that and I think to myself, it would totally be worth buying one of those if just one of my cats would use it regularly. But
Then
some-
again, I looked at I think they're like $5,000.
oh, I think you could get cheaper ones. I haven't really priced them because I
Right,
assume
sure.
maybe I figured probably a few hundred. Which a few $100
Right.
for something that lets your cat get a good run in place and they're having a good time. That's worth it in my opinion. But the thing is, so many times I've bought things that I thought were just a basic staple that any cat would. I've bought 2 or 3 cat trees. They won't touch the things. They won't go near them.
Right.
Don't you like going up in high? Like the cat tree we have in the living room. They used to climb up it occasionally, not frequently. They mostly ignored it. Every now and then it'd be like, okay,
Right.
this is a place I could lie. Hestia used to sleep on it at times, but Shaniko doesn't do much of anything that involves climbing except for the places that she's really comfortable climbing.
How old is she now?
Shaniko, she's I'm awful at keeping track of ages because she's
Ish. Yeah.
teens.
Yeah. So she's getting old for that.
She's getting old. She's
Yeah.
getting blind. So she has to sniff for her treats. She has to listen and sniff for her treats when I throw them to her.
Right.
And then I have to like point them out to her if she can't find it by nose and lost track of where the sound was.
Right.
So yeah, no, she only climbs the things that she knows like the back of her paw.
Right.
Cat tree, she hasn't climbed enough times to really be used to it. If I put her on it, she'd probably fall trying to find her way off of it, or meow a bunch. For us to
My
get her down.
sister-in-law had this dog that was basically blind.
Yeah.
And what she did is she got all these little rugs that have different texture and laid them out like little pathways so
Oh.
the dog could figure out how to move around.
I mean, I will say
Because
we've
the
not got-
different texture would kind of suggest
right.
where the dog was.
That's a clever way to do it, and then it would get used to the texture.
Oh, yeah.
and,
Yeah, learn.
It's a frame of reference.
Sadly, she had considered putting the dog down, but I don't think
well, it's always
she
tough.
never came to that. Yeah,
it's it's tough when it's not a clear call, like when Hestia came to the end of her life. It was clear that we were helping her with medical issues that she was never going to get better from. So at that point, you're already in the process of, I have to make a decision at some point in the coming time because this isn't getting better. I mean, we had her at the point that we were giving her hydration fluid injections on a daily basis to try to keep her hydrated. She was barely eating anything and kept losing weight, but she would still get up and walk around. She would still get herself to the litter box and back, but she spent most of her time not roaming around. She spent most of her time hiding under a bed, lying there. But she would come out from time to time and visit other areas. So it's like there's quality of life and there's degradation of life. And certainly by the end, if it were up to me and only me, I probably would have monitored it for more days, because to me it's kind of like, if you can still get yourself to the toilet and back, that I don't want someone putting me down when I'm getting myself to the toilet and back. But people and cats,
I can still pee.
Different. But then again, there's that whole other thing about like it's a gamble, because then if you wait it too long and it's some like horrible emergency situation. So, anyways, I feel good about the call we made.
It's difficult, it's difficult.
That's a difficult one. That is. We didn't need to go off on that tangent, but we did. But that's clever with the rug texture. I'll have to keep that in mind if it ever comes down to that for Shanico.
Because you have to go out to all these different stores to find out these little shitty rugs.
Right. But
or hope that you can find one.
Other frame of reference things, because
at a flea market. Oh, you got some little rugs. Great, I'll buy a whole bunch.
Well, for us, it probably will be if we run into a situation where Shanico's getting lost in certain areas that she doesn't, then we need to add a frame of reference there.
Right.
So that gives me something to think on. Anyways, man, we're losing viewers, but
are we down to one?
People don't like cats. We're down to 2. We had 4, then we had 3.
Oh, I show 1. It's like.
Well, I showed 2 in the StreamYard console.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
See, I don't have that. So
it could be possibly coming through YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, I had quite the flea market haul this past weekend because
oh, that's right. We were going to talk about that.
On my vacation, my aunt, my uncles, they will typically put scratchers in birthday cards for us at this point.
Oh yes, how nice.
And my aunt and uncle gave me a scratcher that I won $100 on.
Whoa!
Yeah, and the best part of that is I'm scratching it. And I check them. I'm like, okay, that's a match. That's $20, but that's double, so that's $40. I'm like, oh, that's a match. That's another $20. That's double, so that's $80. And I glance at the rest. I'm like, oh, I think that's all. Woohoo! $80. I take it to the quick check. They scan it. They say $100, and I'm like, you're damn right, it's $100.
I'm not arguing with that, man.
So somewhere on that card was another $20 I didn't even see in the things I scratched off. So it was even better than I thought. And then my other aunt gave me a scratcher that I won $5 off of, which, $105. Every little bit helps. So I had some nice cash in my pocket for the flea market. And I got to say, it's real interesting. So we go to 2 flea markets in the area. There's one in Rainham, which
is down in Jersey?
And no, this is Massachusetts, local to us.
Oh, Massachusetts. Okay.
There's a flea market in a town called Rainham, and they have an indoor flea market, but then they also have a parking lot area outside where they have the people that set up the tables outside. And there's a lot of consistency between people that we've seen that continue to come here regularly every summer, week to week. And then there's also a lot of variety and changes that you see in the outdoor tables. And the inside is a lot more stable, but this flea market has good stalls inside that we always go inside and always do the walkthrough.
Yeah.
Then there's another flea market we've been going to the past few years in Grafton. They have way more of the outdoor stuff, and the outdoor stuff is fluctuates a lot more. It's the type of thing where there are some people that you only see once. They cleared out some garage and basement stuff, and
Right.
they want to just
they get a booth. Yeah.
they get a booth for a day or maybe for a few weeks, and they just want to clear their shit from their house,
Sure.
take some cash, and go on with their lives. So that is a real mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get there. They also have an indoor section. The indoor section, not as good. We usually do a quick walkthrough, and very few things I've ever bought indoors that one. But the outdoor pickings are great. So we love those two. Well, they both have their hours on Sundays. I don't know if that's a regional. I mean, when you think of a weekend, usually Saturday's your kind of fun free day. Sunday was more of a church day. But it seems here that flea markets are typically a Sunday thing if it's only one day on the weekend. Is that normal for flea markets to lean more?
I wouldn't even know. Yeah.
Yeah. That's Rainham's not open.
We
on
haven't been to a
Saturdays.
flea market in a long time. In
But
fact, the last time I went, I think it was with my folks,
hmm.
down in Santa Maria. So
So last year, Grafton started announcing while we were there that they were starting a new thing that they're going to be open on Saturdays and Sundays. And so we were like, oh, we got to check it out on a Saturday sometime. Because if
see, to me, why not? Most of the
Right.
potential customers are going to want to come either Saturday, Sunday, because you can't go out on the weekday if you're working.
Right. So we thought, oh, that'd be great, because if we could come here Saturday and it's just as good, then we could hit both flea markets in the same weekend. But the only question I had is, are the same people coming both days, or is it a different crowd each day? Is Saturday catching on, or are most people sticking with the Sunday because that's been the norm for these past years? So it's one of these things. It's like we got to just come here on a Saturday one of these weekends and see for ourselves.
Right.
So we decided on Saturday, let's go to Grafton. Let's see what the Grafton Saturday experience is. And so we get up, we get a breakfast, we drive out there. And as we're approaching there, the way it works is that there's a big parking lot across the street from the flea market. And we get there, and the parking lot's closed. And I'm like, what the fuck? They say they're open Saturdays. And I look, and there's like 2 tables, and I can't tell if they're setting up or if they're things that are being put there to be ready for Sunday, or there's nothing inviting. There's nothing that says open, and the normal place to park is closed off. So I drove past it, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I actually found a place to park and pulled up like the information to make sure I didn't miss something. I'm like, no, it says it's open Saturdays. We drove by it again, and there was like 1 or 2 people looking at the 1 or 2 tables that was set up, but I didn't even know where I was supposed to park, because I guess the lot we park in is an overflow lot, and maybe there's a normal lot in there, but the turn-in I thought was for the sellers. So I'm just like, fuck this. This isn't even worth stopping for. So that now we know.
So that was a bust.
Yeah, even though they opened up on Saturday, they have not enticed the sellers to really come, and so it's a slow moving day. It's just not happening. So I was like, oh, we got up early on a Saturday.
Well, is it a case that the Saturday is new for them and it just hasn't caught on yet?
Well, this is
And
the
they'll
second
just
year.
take time?
This is the second year they've done it, so yes,
Oh,
it has. And I don't
yeah.
know if it's ever going to catch on, because it seems that here's the thing.
Well, if it's been a year, chances are, no, it won't happen.
I guess it's a thing. How can you catch it on? Because when I came and what I saw, I'm never going back there on a Saturday again. And if the buyers aren't going to show
Right.
up because there's nothing there, the sellers
Right.
aren't going to. No one's making the move
Sure.
to show up and commit to this. Where basically anyone who tries it finds, no, this sucks. Sunday's the day. It's a waste of the time. So
That's very weird.
yeah. But creatures of habit. They've established Sunday as the day. They added a new day, and people are just like, nah, I'll stick to the norm. So it kind of makes sense.
You would think that the Saturday
Uh,
would be a better
You
day
think people would?
because the good stuff would be gone, by Sunday,
You'd
but
think.
apparently not.
And maybe that is happening for some of the people that show up. But again, if people aren't showing up, so I'm
Maybe
like,
not enough vendors go.
So
Who knows? Yeah.
So at this point, I pulled over, got into a parking lot. I'm like, let's find a backup flea market or something, because I knew that there were some flea markets that show up on Google Maps down towards Providence, but I never had an excuse to check them out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, there's a flea market in Providence that's open Saturdays and Sundays. Let's go check them out. And I felt a little out of place there. I felt a little overdressed there, and I was pretty much dressed up like this. That place was the type of flea market that all the stands basically had like, you ever see the stall at a flea market that's like selling what looks like normal newish clothes and bottles of laundry detergent and soaps, and like they're trying to be a store, but they're at a flea market booth. I
can't say that I have, because it's been so long since I've been to one.
You see,
I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, it was a lot of that type of stuff. There was like one booth that had some old audio equipment, but it was nothing that was worthwhile and nothing that was priced very well.
Yeah.
But it was mostly people selling things like little toys that were kind of newish, cheap toys. They're basically trying to flip things that they're getting from suppliers and operate a little store. And I don't know if this is a way to get a deal on laundry detergent that I'm not aware of, for those that can't afford to buy it from the grocery store. But I
You mean you don't go to Walmart?
No, Walmart's on Route 1, which is a pain in the ass to get to on a weekend.
Oh, really? Oh, that sucks.
I get my detergent from the grocery store, sir. Market Basket. But yeah, so that was a bust. So I decided, oh, you know what? I know where we can go. We haven't gone to Rhode Island Antiques in a while, which is this great antique store that also has a lot of great vinyl and a lot of different booths set up. Yeah, I found some great records there. Yeah, I found me a 12-inch single of that 90s classic, the Arrested Development version of People Every Day.
Ooh-ha.
Yeah. And I found on Command Records something that's just called The Corporation.
That's an ear turner.
Yeah. A sound contemporary musical investment. I still have not listened to this, and I don't have a turntable easily hooked up, so this isn't. We haven't done a proper Dollar Bin Specials in a while. Let me see if I can find like someone did a needle drop of this on YouTube, so I could try to get a idea what this sounds like. I did not prep this; I'm just kind of winging it today. AI was the main topic, but we may as well talk about the flea market finds. The Corporation. A sound contemporary musical investment. It is on YouTube. So let's find out.
Wicked.
I was kind of expecting easy listening. This,
you know, I can see this in an elevator, and people would be bopping along to it.
This is pretty damn good elevator music, I gotta say. Little bit of monkeys in the elevator.
When I was in Singapore, there was some, shall we say, piped music in different stores and whatever.
Yeah.
And some of it was, I'm sorry, you recorded somebody's karaoke and the guy cannot sing? Oh my God.
So I don't know. What do you think? You think this was worth? I don't know. Maybe I paid
Oh, this
like
fun, but
yeah. I think this is worth a little bit of fun background music to have while doing a little work. And then I found something that maybe you'll find more better. This is certainly a classic here. There are but 4 small faces. The small faces.
ooh,
Before the faces, they were the small faces. So it's before Rod Stewart was in the band.
right.
But are you familiar with what they did? I guess their biggest hit was Itchy Coo Park.
Oh no, yeah, that was not on my radar.
That one's not on. You're not familiar with Itchy Coo Park.
Uh, oh yeah, you can't play a little bit of that, can you?
Oh, I could.
Oh, okay. Oh, I recognize this.
To rest my eyes in shades of green under dreaming
Holy shit, I have not heard this song in a million years.
All right, there we go. That was a much better purchase than the last one. Then we're gonna
That
have
is
to go.
total classic, man. Wow.
You got to look that one up now.
Yeah.
And then
Once in a while, we'll hear some unusual older thing that's not often played on XM radio. You know, the classic vinyl or the rewind. But it's rare because a lot of it's it's still a kind of a top 40 deal.
right.
You know, when you hear the same recording, a couple of days in a row, you kind of go, okay, kick that one off for a little while. Let's play something different.
Now, what about? Do you remember this one?
Maybe. Let me see.
soldier that wants to jump into your fire. Or a look in your eye, a dream passing by the sky. I don't understand. I need is treat me like a man. 'Cause I ain't no child. Take me like my hand. I got to
That one familiar at all?
Vaguely, it doesn't quite. I mean, that one's probably been longer and not as frequent or something.
Yeah,
But
I actually like that one better than Itchy Coo
who is the
Park.
vocalist?
I forget his name. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, okay.
Let's take a look here. But I mean, that's certainly a rockin' song there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Small Faces vocalist, Steve Marriott.
Okay, that doesn't ring a bell. He didn't go on to bigger things, I guess.
I don't know. Known for his incredibly powerful, gritty, blue-eyed soul voice, Marriott led the band through the 1960s mod and psychedelic hits like Itchy Coo Park and All or Nothing. After Marriott left the Small Faces in 1969 to form the rock group Humble Pie, the remaining members recruited Rod Stewart to handle lead vocal duties. Okay, so
Gotcha.
he went on to Humble Pie.
There you go.
That makes sense. So yeah, no, that's.
I mean, I think it's fun to watch a guy like Steve Winwood, Spencer Davis Group,
yeah, Blind Faith,
Blind Faith, and Traffic.
yeah.
Just all kinds of groups, and he's still out there.
And then I found Howard Jones. Jumping from the 60s to the 80s is what we're doing here. You remember Howard Jones?
Is he related to Jim Jones?
I don't know. I don't know if all the
The guy with the
Joneses-
cooler.
the guy with the cooler.
The
Yeah.
Kool-Aid, I mean.
Yeah. Well, let me see if you remember. We're going into the 80s now here.
Yeah.
So let's see if maybe you the album, the hit off of this album was called New Song, which it goes like this.
Let's go with cheesy synthesizer.
Well, it was the 80s. Everyone was. These were new toys at the time.
Right.
But not familiar to you?
There's a bit, interestingly enough.
Yeah, this is one I kind of forgot about until I started digging into the Friday Night Videos stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, wow, this one kind of got forgotten. So now I got a vinyl copy. Oh, we'll let it get to the refrain here. See if, here we go.
A good farty bass.
Yeah. What do you think?
It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was his later hit that had more staying power. You might remember the song "Things Can Only Get Better." Let's see if you remember that one. I'll just kind of find the refrain on that. There we go. Actually, we'll play a verse and refrain. This one sounding familiar? Are you remembering the hook?
Yeah, that's definitely more.
But do you remember what the hook is?
No, it hasn't hit me yet.
One of the great things about this song, you don't even have to remember any words to know the hook.
Right, right.
But it's coming up here.
Yeah.
I think you could probably think, you know, I just finally got that hook out of my head.
Right.
And now you went and reminded me.
Darn.
Tomorrow you're going to be going somewhere, brushing your teeth, driving down the road, and you're going to be thinking, whoa,
Boing.
whoa, whoa.
Right, right.
And then by then
Oh,
I had
that's
reached
so
my
funny.
point at the antique store where I was like, well, I have enough things that I've found here. I don't need to find anything more. And then what do I find? I find 2 awesome classic James Brown records is what I
Ooh.
find. Got me some Hot Pants. And there it is. Some classic thing. Gotta have the Hot Pants.
Can you show that again?
Well, there's the Hot Pants. See, they even show off the Hot Pants on the back of the cover there.
Right, right.
There you go. Hot Pants.
There you go. Classic.
And there it is. So how could I pass those up? Those, I think, were a little more expensive than the other ones. So, you know, after that, you know, the findings are good. And we decided, well, you know what? Now that we did that, tomorrow's Sunday, we can get up, we can go to Rainham. Because we haven't been to Rainham yet this year.
Ah, okay.
And I only bought one record at Rainham. I bought a lot of tapes, but I bought one record. And I bought...
Can I take a break for a moment?
Sure.
I'll be right back.
Absolutely. Oh, we are in overtime here. So we're gonna let him take a break, and after he takes a break, he's gonna we're gonna finish up the flea market finds, and then we'll find someone to raid if we have enough viewers to justify it. Because I think Not Magpie has gone off with her ice cream and wherever adventures that took her on. But we hope to see her again real soon. And I was kind of saying earlier that I do plan to talk more about Plex Amp Caldera and the Car Pie on the Quadcast channel. I'm hoping to put something together that's a little more cohesive. In fact, I might split up into 2 things, because Caldera and what that's done and what that could do for you is some really good stuff that deserves something cohesive and clear with prompts and slides and a PowerPoint presentation, all the kinds of stuff that I haven't quite been able to, because usually I just go live and go, but maybe I might even produce something. I don't know. But certainly I think the quad community needs to know more about what Caldera can do if you put together a Plex server. I know a lot of people have been doing the Kodi thing, and the one thing that Kodi has going for it is that it can absolutely do Dolby Atmos by passing it through to the receiver, whereas Plex and Plex Amp still haven't gotten that digital pass through to, well, the libraries don't really support it. I'm hoping that the future has that. But everything else it does great, and I have just never liked Kodi. And so, but I have to run Kodi on something if I want to stream Atmos. But everything else, my whole streaming library revolves around Plex and Plex Amp. And hey, maybe you could get Kodi in the car if you use Tailscale. Maybe you can get Kodi in the car if you add some kind of a multi-terabyte solid state drive to your Pi and just keep a library of music there. But Plex Amp, unfortunately, you need to have a Plex Pass to make Plex Amp work, and hopefully Caldera will add the transcoding feature in the future. We'll have to get into all those details when I put a video together. But one thing we're going to talk about is that I'm noticing an uptick in the amount of cassette tapes that are coming out at the flea markets. I've kind of noticed a growth of interest in cassettes. And I think the people that are, regular sellers at the flea markets are kind of getting some kind of a memo or a vibe that the cassettes are moving. And so I don't know if there's something going on that, the word has gotten out, and now people that have had these things in storage that it wasn't worth the table space are now digging them out, or if I'm just imagining it. But we'll talk about that. But we got Brian back here.
Hey.
So it just so happened that we timed it that I forgot what time Rainham opens. And so we ended up getting there just as they're opening, which is the perfect time to get there. I thought they opened at like 7. They opened at 8. So I thought we were getting there like an hour late, which, who wants to get up at the crack of dawn to be at the flea market at 7
and find the parking lot full, right?
Yeah. No, it was pretty good. And so, we walked around. Some tables are still setting up, so we just kind of walked over to the tables that were set up, and then we doubled back and catch the ones that had finished setting up. I found I found a guy that was selling DVDs that had Seinfeld season box sets for $1 each season. Now he only had the seasons 1 and 2, 5 and 8. But 3 seasons of Seinfeld for $3. That's, I'll have to keep an eye out for the others. Of course, I'll probably rip them.
Unless you get, of course, you get the complete Seinfeld for $8.
I once saw a complete Seinfeld box. It was this huge box, but it didn't have all the discs. But it was really cheap, and maybe that would have been worth it because then I know.
Yeah.
But then it's like I have to fill in holes from each season, so I'm probably gonna it wasn't worth my time. But anyway,
well, it's hard to know when you see something like that. Should I just get it, or?
Yeah, it's like,
because then you've got a nice box to put them all in, right?
Right, there's that. But one guy had a few cassette tapes that I bought, which we'll get to later, and some records that I found one of interest, and that is Barroom Singing, the Barroom Gang. And there is a guy that with an old-timey mustache and a nice beer mug there who looks like he's doing some barroom singing. I have also not had a chance to listen to this one yet. Well, who has time to listen to them when you got 2 James Brown records on the pile? Exactly. Obviously, the James Brown went on the turntable before the Barroom Singing did. So I need to come back over to my YouTube.
Is that just a bar band that got a recording out or something?
There's no information. The back only has information about other mood music albums you can buy. So it doesn't even say who the Barroom Gang are, or how this recording was made, or for what purpose you would want to listen to this. Some of these records will, kind of tell you what kind of for setting the scene at your basement bar, listen to the Barroom Singing. Or, I don't know. Well, let's look and see if someone's captured this and posted it to YouTube. And let's see. Here it is. Glorious Beer, the Barroom Gang. So this is one song from this album. It's called Glorious Beer.
Let me sing you a song of the gargle, a notion to me very dear. I refer to the grand lubricator.
That's more like beer garden.
Well, this is old-timey barroom singing. But yeah, it's certainly... We're at a bar room in Germany, I think.
Right. Except they're not speaking in German.
Except they're singing English, as they do at all the great bars in Germany.
Right.
We're at a German-themed American bar. Is where we are. I think we're at the beer garden at Disney at Epcot.
There was a amusement park just inside Massachusetts, from north of Hartford, Connecticut, Riverside Park, and they had basically a beer garden.
Cool.
It was kind of cool. They are now a Six Flags, I think.
So one thing I've noticed, the flea markets seem to have gotten the memo that there's been an uptick in interest in cassettes. Because you may have noticed I'm bringing home more cassettes with me. And I've only relatively recently gained the interest in cassettes again. But also, I don't think I've seen enough of them to really be sucked back in until recently. I think this is a new thing, that more cassettes are showing up at the flea markets. So that's been really cool. So one thing I found was at the same table where I bought the bar room music we just listened to was a single of that 90s classic Rump Shaker. You remember... You were listening to the rap and hip hop stations back in the 90s, right? Oh, nope. Brian's not
just coughing. Sorry.
You remember that 90s hip hop classic by Rex and Effects, Rump Shaker, don't you?
No, I don't. Is that a real band, or are you just pulling my leg?
I kid you not. When I was in 8th grade, that got all the kids out on the dance floor, is what that did. That is we're gonna have to, I mean, heck, if you search Rump Shaker, you'll see it's by Rex and Effects. Is that is and I think you get the idea of that song.
I got it. I got it.
Did you ever hear that in the background in the 90s? Is that kind of...
Not me.
No.
Not my thing.
You were not hanging out at the school dances in the 90s. Because...
I would have probably been arrested.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because then I walked around and I found a table that had a basket of cassettes with no jewel cases, no covers, no J cards, just plain old commercial cassettes. And I flipped around through there, and there was some.
Oh, with the commercial recording, then.
Right.
So
the
you had a
commercial-
label for the cassette.
Well, I mean, it's printed on the plastic. It's but it doesn't have its J card or its case or its art.
Right.
It just got the track list on the tape, and so I found one that was a bit of a classic. That if it had its original case, probably would be worth at least $10. But I looked at that and I'm like, well, maybe I mean, it's a basket of tapes with no cases. That who knows the last time he played these. Maybe he'll offer them for $1 each. And generally, when there's something that I'm picking up that's a little more collectible than the rest of them, I just hold the tape without displaying what it is and say how much for the tapes to see if he goes blanket price with them.
Yeah.
And he did not. He said, "Oh, well, that depends. Let me see which one you got there." And he looked at that and he said, "How about $4?" And I thought to myself, "There's no way I'm paying more than $2 for a tape without its case, and I don't really need it." And I'm ready to walk away for. So I said, "Nah, I'm thinking more like 2." And he said, "How about 3?" And I said, "It doesn't have its case. I'll put it back." And he said, "No, 2. I'll take the 2." Now, even though you might not have been hip with all that was going on in the 90s, I think you may have heard this one back in the day. I think you might remember this one, and you might even be able to name the band. So let's see if Brian can name the band of this 90s classic.
Right. Hey, nice guitar work.
That one ringing any bells?
I'm gonna have to wait until the vocals kick in. It's not an instrumental, right?
No, it's a vocalist.
It does kind of sound familiar.
Ringing any bells? You know that
It has a familiar sound to it. I can't place what it is. I can't place the band.
So it's something that you were aware existed, but you never paid enough attention
Yeah.
to. Well, this was pretty fucking big back in the 90s, so it doesn't surprise me that even if you weren't paying attention, you've heard that one.
All right, who was it?
That's Nirvana.
Nirvana. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The song "Smells Like Teen
You know,
Spirit."
I never got into Nirvana. Yeah, certainly aware of them and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Of course, then he blew his brains out for some reason. You know.
I mean, when it came to the 90s, I was not really into the 90s music in the 90s.
Yeah.
But it surrounded me, and it's the sound of the time that I lived through. So
I do kind of like the sound of the grunge rock.
Right.
You know, total Seattle. That nails Seattle down. Oh, you finally got something that's your own. You know, they were like getting left out of rock and roll. You know, so it's kind of cool that there's that sound. But
and then I found I found a copy of this is probably an 80s reissue of a 70s album, the Ozark Mountain Daredevils, which had the hit with Jackie Blue, if you remember that one. Do you remember?
Yeah, let's play. I remember that band.
Yeah, but you don't. But you're not hearing the song in your head, or do you?
Not at this point.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Of course, as soon as you play it, I won't be able to get it out of my head. I'm sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, you'll probably. I'll play the opening notes. You'll probably be like, "Got it." You know, is
okay. Stop. Oh yeah. Of course.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's a fun song.
It is.
and then I found
I do hear it once in a while on XM radio. Not frequently, but I do hear it.
That one still gets some airplay all the time. And then I found an 80s classic, a solo Robert Plant cassette. Any guesses what song might be on that? Can you name a solo Robert Plant song?
Offhand, I can't play. I'm sure it'll be recognizable. Oh, that's a cool one. That's a good song.
Do you remember the name of it? Big Log.
Oh yes, I just took a dump and it was a big log.
Pretty much.
You know, it was funny as hell. We were driving along and had XM radio on, and some Led Zeppelin song came on, and it may have been the DJ that said Robert Plant, and my wife said, "Robert Plant was in Led Zeppelin." Yes.
Now, that would have made sense if it was your Asian wife that said that.
She would have said, "Who's Led Zeppelin? Is that LED? LEAD?" Yeah, it's good vocalist. She's not a real fan of Robert Plant, but I don't. That's fine.
And so this is funny.
She's very fussy on vocalists. I think there are 3 female vocalists that she likes, and that's who is it that was in Heart?
Ann Wilson.
Okay. She also likes the Wilson Phillips band.
Okay.
You know, those vocalists. She likes harmonies too, so that's good. She likes more male than that. But so it's funny on Facebook. There's a group. I don't even remember which one it is, but a group that once in a while posts something like, "Which vocalists cannot sing?" Famously, of course. In fact, I was surprised that it wasn't on the list more.
Bob Dylan.
But there's the story that Neil Young was told by a producer, "You cannot sing."
I could see that.
You know, his voice is not great, but he's a damn good songwriter.
He actually can carry the tune, and his voice is unique in a way that to someone that's looking for a traditional sound would reject it, but it turns out it worked.
Oh, another guy that's common on the list, of course, is Bob Dylan.
Right.
Rod Stewart.
Sonny Bono.
He may have been on the list, but that's funny. But the one that I thought was funny as hell, a guy said Jim Morrison.
The fuck you talking about? What's he smoking?
And the excuse was it all sounds the same. Well, he fucking died before he could do more songs to get a real developed whatever. One hell of a songwriter. In fact, usually for male vocalists. Now, maybe the dynamic range, it doesn't have a Paul McCartney range, okay? Wasn't wide enough for this guy's opinion. But he to me, a male vocalist, the male vocalist standard to me is Jim Morrison. Anybody that's good is going to be at his level.
No,
a lot of guys, I forget what's the name of the guy that the vocalist for Yes.
John Anderson.
Now he had a great range, but to me, he's kind of a squeaky kind of voice.
Well, he has a unique voice that is part of the sound of Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Now, where do you rate Doug Ingle as a vocalist?
With what band? I can't think of him.
Iron Butterfly, obviously.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, duh. Yeah, I'd have to listen to some to go. Yeah, let's see. Where does it's funny. It's funny how some bands everybody. I mean,
I'll make
the Beatles. The Beatles, and what everybody played, and some of the different variations. But then you get a group like AC/DC, a lot of people don't know. Oh,
Right.
that guy's. Because they never,
Right.
obviously a group like Kiss, you know who the asshole is.
But
Or yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bands you know the players, and other ones they never talk about the players. It's about the band.
right. So, anyways, I was at the table. I picked up. It's interesting because I basically picked up one from each decade. We had the Jackie Blue from the 70s. We got the Big Log from the 80s. And then I found also in that same box Technotronic from the 90s. And I was like, ooh, that's some fun 90s
That's a
dance.
span, yeah.
I don't know if you remember. I mean, this certainly has a sound of it that you would have to think, wow, the 90s called. They want their dance club back. But, again, it's that sound that surrounded me at the time.
Sure, yeah.
It's got a bass.
Yeah. What I hate about a lot of pop music today is the instrumentation is so minimal. Like, is there a bass at all? Or the drum track sounds like it was a frickin' drum machine. There is no. I like a band that has an organic feel to it. It feels real. It feels real musicians. They may even contain mistakes.
Right.
And famously, like in the Asia album video that Steely Dan did, they talk about how they rehearse it to perfection, and then they could kind of relax for the recording to make it more organic.
And even relax, it still sounds like perfection, but I guess they get a more
well, you're in a
natural-
studio, so
they're
you're
more
in a
natural.
studio. Yeah.
I will say Asia, I think they got it just right. Gaucho, I think they stuck too close to perfection. I never never cared for that album.
Several months ago, I bought a bunch of CDs that I didn't have, which included Gaucho and there's like 5 CDs that I bought. I just, the hell with it, I'm buying them. I need them for my collection. So I have some Steely Dan. I don't have everything, but I have some of their best stuff. And that could be debatable, of course, but
right.
After Asia, what else do you want, right?
Pretzel Logic.
And Pretzel Logic was on the list.
Countdown to Ecstasy.
I don't remember if that's. I'd have to look to see what the other ones are, but that's
gotta have
right.
Can't Buy a Thrill. You got to go back, Jack, and do it.
Go back, Jack, and do it again. Yeah.
Got a killer debut album. But the other one I found at that same table was a blank tape with branding for Camel cigarettes with Joe Camel smoking a cigarette on the J case. Now that's a fun blank to buy. And it was labeled Party Tape. What does the Party Tape have on it? An REM album. I don't know what party these guys are partying at, but it certainly wasn't the Technotronic type. But and I also found a pair of Culture Club tapes.
I don't have the album you suggested.
Oh,
Katie Lied, Gaucho, Asia, Royal Scam, Pretzel Logic.
You need Can't Buy a Thrill and Countdown to Ecstasy. I think that, and unless you want to get the reunion ones as well. So, the same table I found those cassettes at, found some 8 tracks. Got me a Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. You like the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack? No, not so much. You're not big on the disco, are you?
Yeah, not big on the disco.
No.
But then when you listen to some of the disco compared to some of today's stuff,
right?
And I get it. You're supposed to dance to it, and it's supposed to be that level of almost machine level.
And I found this weird '60s compilation bootleg tape that had a very I think this is like a gas station tape or something like that, but it had a very odd artwork on it.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was
Somebody got
fun.
artistique.
Yeah. And I found a Stevie Wonder talking book, a Tommy James solo album, Faces, and Paul Simon.
Oh, which Paul Simon?
It's Greatest Hits. It's,
Oh, okay. So it's a mix of a lot of
Yeah.
his greatest hits, which will be good stuff.
Well, there's that old Kids in the Hall sketch about, tell you what, you're going to give you the Paul Simon tape back, or something like that about borrowing it. Paul. So I figured I'd give that to Gothard, and that'd be a little inside joke about that. And then I found this very interesting tape that I don't know if we can get away with showing this.
Whoops. Well, you could have put a thumb over the naughty bits.
It's just a bare ass,
Right.
and maybe you can make out a little nipple on there.
Right.
We'll fix that in post. Yeah.
What cracks me up? What cracks me up about the it's British, of course. The Midsummer Murders series, which has got 24 seasons out now,
Right.
is once in a while they'll show some odd nudity that's like out of place. One guy shows up to the door when the police are there. This is a murder investigation, of course. All he's wearing is an apron. And there's one scene where he's turned his back and you see his bare ass.
Yeah.
It's funny as hell.
British TV likes to show off the
Right. And then there's another episode I was watching recently. It's, they all have a theme, right?
right.
This one theme was crop circles.
Okay.
And there's a naked man face down, of course, in the crop circles. So there's a dead guy that's bare ass.
Bare ass on TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
This tape is called
Amusing.
Sex Love Story. Very inventive title. Kind of
Right.
tells you what's on the tape. It's a tape about sex. It's a tape about love, and it's a story about sex and love, I guess. The label on the back here doesn't give a track listing. It just gives more of a description or disclaimer. Sex Love Story. Warning. Sexual recording of an adult nature. This tape is not intended for minor and under minor, and under no circumstance are there to be. I can't make this all out. Absolutely for adult only. Basically, don't let your kids listen to the tape with the naked lady on the label. I think the naked lady on the label already said that.
Yes. Right.
But just in case you needed a warning beyond the naked lady on the label, they made sure they made it clear. Absolutely do not let your kids
In case you're a
listen to
dumb
this.
shit.
Yeah.
But there is one episode of Midsummer Murder I do like. The theme is art.
Okay.
And there is this art facility that was basically set up to help with former, criminal, guys coming out of prison to help bring them back. So they're doing art things. And part of the theme is that some of the art that was done in the past, is it an original or is it forgery? And there's this one forgery that's funny as hell. The art was supposedly done, 1820s, but then there is some pigs in there that are a breed that weren't, when you do the research, they weren't introduced to the UK until like 50 years later after the guy was dead. And then there's another, funny bit in there. There's these 4 characters in the background.
Okay.
John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
Well, how about that?
It's funny as hell. But in the studio, they go through the studio, and there was a guy doing a portrait or whatever, and the woman is sitting there, bare ass naked, full. Well, you couldn't see the fuzzy part, but
Right.
you know, I mean, tits all out. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I think that kind of draws to a close. I mean, it was good pickings at the flea market this past week.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
mean,
Yeah.
how many of those would you have bought? Not a single one.
That's interesting. I mean,
Maybe the
you
James
know, that's
Brown
not really
records.
my thing, so that'd be hard to pick out. So
Yeah.
you know, and buying vinyls at this point, I don't have a turntable set up. I should.
Are you
But-
seriously thinking about setting up a turntable?
Well, I haven't gotten rid of it yet, and
Oh.
my wife wants me to get rid of it. So if I set it up and start playing stuff,
Then she'll stop telling you to get rid of it.
yeah, I don't know.
Now, what type of a turntable is it?
It's the Techniques,
Is it direct drive, belt driven?
direct drive.
Okay, those do start to get a little. I've bought a few of them, and
Yeah.
I don't know what the rate is on that, but they could start to get a little funky in holding their speed as the capacitors age.
Yeah.
But it's not hard to do a recap on it, especially if it's not
Yeah.
a changer with a lot of moving parts.
Right.
So you might, but you should set it up. See if the strobe is steady.
Right,
What-
because it does have a strobe on the edge, so you can watch it.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you can't get the strobe to lock in pretty steady, then you probably need a recap.
You know that's
kit.
it's bad.
But
okay,
well, it's not bad. It's worth.
but
fixing.
it needs to be fixed.
It's worth fixing. You could probably do it
Right.
yourself. Yeah.
And I don't know the condition of the needle because it
That's-
has bounced around quite a bit. And do needles or cartridges age to where they're not usable anymore?
They
don't know.
could. Although
Yeah.
I'd if I had to make a guess, my guess would be the cartridge is fine. The needle needs to be changed. It's a
Right.
question of do they still make a needle for that cartridge,
Right.
or you may need to swap the cartridge, which means getting a protractor and a lining, which is a bit of a pain but doable.
Right.
So I mean, heck, maybe that's something to do on my next visit to California.
Right.
and then you could start hitting. Then you have a reason to hit the record stores,
Right.
and start building up a large
And would I get?
collection.
I'm trying to think. Do I actually have a audio CD player? I mean, I'm audio audio cassette player anymore. I don't know. I don't think so.
Huh?
I think that's gone.
You had a cassette at some point.
Yeah. So I have a receiver. I have the turntable. I don't know. I have a cassette, the cassette deck or not.
Why would you have only gotten rid of the cassette and not the receiver and turntable?
Like I say, I don't remember. If I do have one, it's still in a box someplace.
You
I haven't had this shit on a box out of the box in
hmm.
30 years.
Ah,
So
yeah. Well, I mean, that.
no, I take that back. I did have the receiver out before we went to Singapore. I had the receiver out and set up with 4 speakers because it is a 4.0 surround.
Interesting.
Techniques, I think it is.
From the 80s, so it's like a Pro Logic.
Probably.
Hmm.
And I had the turntable set up at one point, but I don't recall having a cassette player set up.
Huh. Maybe that got packed in another box.
My brother, my late brother, had a Nakamichi cassette unit. I was like, oh, I want that, but I didn't get that.
Now I want a Nakamichi turntable. That's what I want.
Right.
Those things are self-centering.
Nice.
Yeah, that way, because some records are just off-center enough that you could just barely make it out, and it drives me fucking nuts.
Right.
All right. On that note, we've gone over time for quite enough, so I think once again
Yep.
it is time to put another fun-filled edition of
Insert title here.
To Bed, but we do try to be educational here. So, Brian, what have you learned here this week?
Okay, you got a cool project version 2 coming out. That's good. You got some cool flea market stuff. That's cool. Trying to think of something else. Oh yeah, I'm gonna look into this tail scale that you were mentioned.
Yeah, that's worth looking into.
That's cool.
And I learned Brian recognizes the sound of Nirvana, but can't name it.
Right,
And,
right.
And it's always fun when you pull out something Brian's long forgotten and he goes, "Oh, that's awesome!" Like Itchy-Coo Park.
Right, exactly.
So
Like, holy shit.
Yeah. On that note, we got like one viewer in Twitch, so it is not worth doing a raid. I wouldn't want to insult Tired Actor by sending over a raid of one, so I'm just going to go over and watch her. And
okay.
Whoever our viewer is, you have it's probably me or you, or
Right, exactly. Well, because I have it playing on one tab, which is out of sync with the StreamYard.
Yeah.
I actually only open that up so that I can type a comment. I actually only open.
Yeah. There I was reloading it, just seeing if it would show me a different count, but no. Well, on that note, I think that wraps us up, and we'll say goodnight.
All right.